The New York Yankees play Game 3 of the American League Championship Series tonight at 5:38 p.m. Eastern Time on TBS. The Yankees are heading to Cleveland, where they'll play in Progressive Field with a 2-0 lead, trying to make it a 3-0 lead and get themselves another step closer to their first World Series berth since 2009. It'll be Clark Schmidt going up against Matthew Boyd in Game 3 tonight, and there's a lot to talk about for today's game. There's a lot to talk about from the game on Tuesday that we'll talk about and more. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. We greatly appreciate any and all support you guys can give us. It's free. It doesn't cost you guys anything to press those buttons, and it helps our videos go further into the algorithm and into more people's feeds. If you guys like our content, you want more of it, we have at Fireside Yankees on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and this YouTube page. And our Instagram page is at fireside.yankees. Links to everything are in the description as always. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. So Game 2 was an interesting contest for the Yankees. They started out the game in a very similar fashion to how they've started out all of their home games, as both Gleyber Torres and Juan Soto reached. Gleyber Torres had a leadoff double. Juan Soto reached on a single that didn't score Torres because it was hit way too hard. Aaron Judge would get another run scored. I don't know if it charges as an RBI when it's an error, but it was a sky-high pop-up. I believe there was a report that there was an airport nearby that actually detected that fly ball on their radars. And it just drifted. The wind carried it. Brian Rocchio, the Guardians' sure-handed shortstop, was unable to corral it, and the Yankees would take a 1-0 lead in the first, but that was all they would get. But one key there was that the Yankees made Tanner Bibby, the Guardians' ace, throw 27 pitches. This helped them dramatically because in the second inning, both Volpe and Rizzo singled to start the frame, and Alex Verdugo laced an RBI double into left field. Aaron Judge added another run with a sacrifice fly, and the Yankees quickly jumped out to a 3-0 lead through the first two innings. And it was a lot of back and forth since, of just the Yankees threatening and not scoring, the Guardians threatening and not scoring. But the Guardians finally broke through on Garrett Cole, who just didn't really have his sharpest command in the fifth inning as he loaded the bases up. He had given up 2 singles and a walk. Josh Naylor had a sacrifice fly. Clay Holmes would come in to replace Cole after he walked Lane Thomas. And it looked like the Yankees were going to blow this lead, but Clay Holmes shut the door again. He was able to get a ground ball for an out. He walked the next batter, which was fine because Andres Gimenez, while not a great hitter, is a far better hitter than Austin Hedges, who Clay Holmes was easily able to strike out. The Yankees were able to add some insurance in the bottom of the sixth inning when Anthony Rizzo hit a huge RBI double, although in that inning, we also saw a blunder from Jazz Chisholm on the base paths. That cannot happen. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Aaron Judge hit his first home run of the postseason in the seventh inning, and Jose Ramirez added a run in the ninth inning with his home run against Luke Weaver, a solo blast. It is the first run Luke Weaver has given up since he's become the team's closer. So as it pertains to the game and kind of how I felt, I didn't think the Yankees played good baseball still. I feel like the Yankees, not good baseball, like great baseball. And that's not a criticism of the team. I don't think that you need to play your best game to win if you're the more talented team. I feel like they left some opportunities on the table. They made some mistakes. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they didn't make multiple base running blunders in the same inning. Jazz got picked off at second with 2 on, nobody out. That can't happen, right? Like that could have been this could have been a 7-3 game instead of a 6-3 game. It doesn't seem like much, but maybe Luke Weaver doesn't have to come in at the bottom of the ninth. And, there's something that I want to talk about bullpen usage in a little bit that, there is a penalty to using guys in the bullpen. And that's not a matter of fatigue. It's has to do with how batters view pitchers. But the base running errors clearly can't happen. The Yankees went 2 for 8 runners scoring position. And one of those hits was a single that didn't score a run. That was the Juan Soto single in the first inning. So realistically, they went 1 for 8 with runners scoring position, or they went 1 for 7, if you want to call it that. I didn't think they played a particularly sharp game, but that doesn't matter because they have so much talent that they can make up for it, right? They can out-talent the Cleveland Guardians, and that's something that, I don't think is a sustainable way to play baseball if you want to advance past the ALCS and compete in the World Series, because both the New York Mets and the Los Angeles Dodgers are similarly talented teams to the New York Yankees. They have a ton of talent on their roster. But I'm not going to sit here and complain. I don't really care, right? Like, I don't care how you win a game. It's not predictive of how you'll win the next game or how you'll play in the next game or how you'll lose the next game. The Yankees could play a great game of baseball tonight and still lose, right? The Yankees could limit damage contact. They could strike out 12 guys and walk two. They could hit the ball hard all over the field. They could hit it to right field, to left field. But if they don't get the roll of the dice they need, they could lose the game. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like a sloppily played game that results in a win is somehow a negative for this team. I feel like they've played baseball that would indicate that they should be playing better. I think that they've pitched pretty well. I think they've hit the ball pretty hard. I think that we started seeing those results last on Tuesday with those 6 runs. I thought they could have had more. We'll see how they continue to play. But I thought, Aaron Judge hitting that home run could potentially wake him up. He got Juan Soto got intentionally walked when Aaron Judge was on deck. I think that personally very much rubbed Judge the wrong way. So hopefully that's the motivation he needs to get the ball rolling again. Garrett Cole wasn't sharp. Did not look good. 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Just wasn't good enough, right? Like, it just wasn't a great start for him. But again, you're not really going to care because it came in a winning effort. Not 2 walks, 4 walks, 6 hits. Like, it was not a great performance, but it came in a win and you'll take it, right? Like, you just need a pitcher to not blow up, right? As long as a pitcher doesn't blow up, you can win the game. And your goal is to just win the baseball game. And that's what the Yankees did. So, looking at game 2, they won the game. They won it pretty handedly. The game was basically over after the 7th inning, after Judge delivered that 2-run bomb. And the Yankees were able to respond to the Guardians kind of, not grabbing momentum per se. They didn't take the lead, but kind of putting a little bit of seed of doubt in the Yankees' head that maybe this game wasn't as in hand as they thought it would be. I'd like to shout out Clay Holmes for getting the Yankees out of that inning without allowing the lead to be given to the Guardians or even letting them tie the game. Tim Hill got 5 massive outs for the Yankees. They got a really nice performance out of Tommy Kahnle, right? Like, they were able to get some big performances from some of their big time arms. And Weaver, he gave up the home run, whatever. It's Jose Ramirez. He's a great hitter. That happens. You just have to hope that, it's just 1 run and he'll lock back in. As it pertains to game 4, however, which is tonight, game 3, however, which is tonight, Matthew Boyd and Clark Schmidt will face off. The Yankees have seen Matthew Boyd this year. They saw him earlier this season. I believe he allowed 3 runs in under 5 innings pitched. Yankees were able to chase him pretty early. Boyd has pitched very well in the postseason so far. He has 10 strikeouts, has not allowed a run in 2 starts, but Boyd has not been asked to be pushed deep into games. So we'll see if the Yankees are able, to chase Boyd early. Now, Soto hit a home run off of Boyd. I believe Judge also hit a home run off of Boyd. I believe that this is a good matchup for Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. And if you guys did not see on the Michael Kay show yesterday, Michael Kay reported that, according to some good sources, he believes that Boone will have Stanton hit 4th and Wells will be on the bench for Trevino. Makes sense. Boyd, lefty. I do worry a little bit that, it'll open lanes for Stephen Vogt, the Guardians manager, to bury the Yankees with big-time right-handed arms and really slice and dice them. But I have confidence that Giancarlo Stanton can hit. I have confidence Aaron Judge can hit, whether it's a righty or a lefty. I have confidence that Juan Soto can be a nice disruptor there. Hopefully somebody like a Jazz Chisholm can wake up and get the ball going. I thought that double was going to help him. I know that he made the base running blunder right after, but perhaps that double is just from an offensive standpoint a way for him to get the ball rolling. We're going to see Rizzo tonight. Rizzo's been playing very well in the series. I didn't think he was going to play well in the series, but he has so far. I think this is a good matchup for him because Boyd doesn't throw particularly hard. Cabrera isn't as good against left-handed pitching, so you weren't going to play him. I know Birdie is an option, but I think you look at Rizzo's defensive profile, and you would trust Rizzo a little more defensively than you would John Birdie, regardless of what Birdie did in the American League Division Series defensively. It is a small sample size, so there's that. But Boyd doesn't throw hard. It's not a lot of like the kind of pitch types that would give Rizzo fits. So hopefully you can promote that, can allow Rizzo to put some balls in play and maybe get a couple of hits here and there. That outfield in Cleveland's very vast. If he can just dink and dunk it, even I know he doesn't have a lot of power left, but if he can kind of dink and dunk it, that'll work. That's all he's got to do, right? Volpe, I think this could be a good matchup for him because Boyd's a lefty. Although that changeup is very vicious, Volpe will have to avoid chasing out of zone, which has been a concern for him in the regular season, but not so much in the postseason. It really just comes down to the Yankees right-handed hitters showing up, right? Like Boyd, he's not bad. He's not a bad pitcher. He's truly, an interesting pitcher. He's always had talent. He's a guy the Yankees actually were interested in the 2019 trade deadline, but you have to find a way to beat him because he's not an overpowering pitcher the way that, you would look at a Cole Reagans or even a Seth Lugo, where, those two guys are going to finish in the Cy Young conversations. They're not going to win it, but they're going to finish top 3, top 5. Those are the kinds of guys you got to be able to beat. As it pertains to someone like Clark Schmidt, though, this is a matchup that, I'm not saying is perfect for him, but there are lanes for him to do well. The Guardians do not hit well against right-handed cutters. If you can attack the outside part of the plate, if you can, really pester that part of the plate, sweepers, cutters, curveballs, get the sinker in when you need to, that's going to be important. The big time kind of scary matchup is always going to be, someone like Jose Ramirez, but you can get him to chase on the back foot if you were able to throw something down and in. Josh Naylor, he'll chase, but he has some thump, so that's a concern for Schmidt. But at the same time, he can go out there, and if you can get Naylor to expand the zone, I think he'll have a good day. The guy who I'm really worried about for Schmidt is probably Stephen Kwan. Stephen Kwan is a pest. He does not strike out. If you think about kind of what Schmidt throws, the cutter up and in, that's a pitch you can kind of shoot the other way or even wrap around for a hit. The curveball, again, you can kind of hit anything. So, Kwan is a concern. Ramirez is a concern. But I think Schmidt can get the other guys to expand the zone. That's all he's got to do. Just try to get them to expand the zone, and expand the zone. Make them swing happy, make them swing themselves out of counts. But, I also think for the most part, this team has played, while it hasn't been quote unquote sharp baseball, they've done enough. The pitching has been particularly excellent for this team. They have to find ways to just make sure that they're able to keep hitting, right? And figure out ways to hit, figure out ways to get the job done. Because this team is clearly capable of it. They just haven't. I think that this is a matchup where, the Yankees should be able to win this game. This is not an unwinnable game, but you never know. For kind of lifetime numbers against Schmidt, Andres Gimenez is 5 for 9 with a double and 2 strikeouts in his career. Stephen Kwan is 4 for 8. Jose Ramirez is 3 for 8. Everyone else, Josh Naylor is 1 for 2 with 4 walks. Bo Naylor has faced Schmidt twice and he's walked twice. You just have to make sure you get these guys to expand the zone. Schmidt pitched against Cleveland earlier this year, 5 innings. I think it was 1 or no runs allowed, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts. The walks were an issue. It was very windy that time of year. Hopefully the wind isn't crazy today because that could really throw Schmidt off. If the wind is also blowing, right field, there is a wind tunnel in right field that can form in Cleveland Progressive Field. The Yankees can get the ball out to right field if the wind's going. They can get the ball out the ballpark. That's a ballpark that has seen an uptick in home runs this year because of that new kind of wind tunnel. I don't know what it's called. It's a wind funnel almost. It's a jet stream. There we go. It's a jet stream that's pushing the ball out to right field. And again, if it's windy there, that'll be a factor. We'll see how it is time. That'll also make fielding the ball in the outfield very difficult, and it'll make Clark Schmidt's job a little more difficult in terms of trying to keep them from pulling the ball or keeping their lefties from pulling the ball. Again, the Yankees have a 2-0 lead in this series. This is a pivotal game. This series is by no means over. We've seen teams go up 2-0 in a series and either A, blow the lead and lose the series, or B, make it a close series. In 2019, the Nationals go up 2-0. They drop the next 3. They don't want to win the World Series, but they did go up 2-0 and lose that 2-0 lead. Last year, the Texas Rangers, they go up 2-0, then they lose 3 straight at home, and then they find themselves down 3-2, had to rally. And we also saw in the NLCS kind of the ugliest side of this. The Phillies took a 2-0 lead against the Diamondbacks team they were heavily favored against, and they proceeded to lose 2 of 3 on the road, and then they lost both games at home. So this is a big game for the Yankees, right? You either A, give the Guardians a sense of, oh, we can get back into this series. Yeah, we're back in this thing. Or you really knock them out of it. You put yourself in a position where the Guardians are going to have to do something that has only been done once in Major League history to make a comeback against the Yankees. So you could put yourself, you can really kind of, you do not want to give Cleveland any hope of getting back in this series. And I would also like to throw out that if you are in a 2-1 series, it's 2-2, 2 in Cleveland, 2 in New York. You no longer have home field advantage. So it's imperative for the New York Yankees to take tonight's game. With that being said, though, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I think that, personally, you ask me, I feel good about this game, but we'll see how this goes, right? Like it's baseball. It's never predictable. Boyd is a lefty. That's always giving the Yankees fits. Schmidt, he's not like Cy Young. He's a good pitcher, but the Guardians have shown an ability to make contact, and hey, they made Cole work. They made Cole work, and they've shown that they can be a tough out to get. With that being said, again, though, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I want to know what you guys think. How do you guys feel going into game 3? How do you guys feel about the series so far, though? How confident do you feel the Yankees can get the job done and advance to the World Series? You guys can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and of course this YouTube page. We're on empiresportsmedia.com for our written content. Everything that you can find us under is at Fireside Yankees or at fireside.yankees on Instagram. And you guys can also check out my personal Twitter page at Ryan Garcia ESM. Again, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, join the Fireside family, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go Yankees. Peace out, everybody.
Perfect.